Hello, everybody. Welcome to the lunch table. My name's Evan. Today I'm joined with Zach and Nick. No Joel today, but we're going to be diving into week seven's games, talking about a couple of them, going through some of the major storylines, then giving our week 8 predictions. So, same as usual, but before we dive in, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy, and to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at lunchtable.takes. And without further ado, we'll dive into this week's slate of games. We're not gonna talk about the Thursday night game because the Broncos and the Saints both suck.
Nah, the Broncos might be okay.
They're 4-3, but it wasn't a game. They won.
No, yeah, the Broncos beat the Saints are terrible, but the Broncos might be okay. But no one cares. So.
Yeah, Patriots, Jags, those.
No, both of those teams actually suck.
Yeah,
not worth talking about that.
Yeah,
so we'll go to Seahawks Falcons. The Seahawks won 34-14 in Atlanta. So, what were your guys' thoughts on that game?
I was extremely displeased.
Did any of us pick that game?
No, I picked Atlanta.
I also picked.
I was very tempted to pick Seattle because I still think Seattle is a decent team, but I was like in Atlanta, coming off a couple big wins. I thought they would keep the momentum going, and they just did not. They got demolished in this game. Like right when I start to believe in the Atlanta Falcons, they get destroyed. So it's like I still don't know what to think of this game. I do think Seattle is better than we kind of thought they were after losing 3 straight. They kind of seemed to get the train back on the tracks. Yeah, they needed this win. Geno Smith played really well, over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, didn't turn the ball over. K9 had another touchdown. He's a beast.
K9 is having himself a year.
Yeah, he's a monster.
He is just going crazy this year.
Running backs this year.
I think he's probably in your top 5 right now, honestly. He's having himself a year. Yeah, Geno Smith had a good game. I mean, DK Metcalf had like a highlight.
Yeah, he had almost 100 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. He got hurt though, didn't he?
He's considered week to week. So
he's a minor MCL sprain.
Yeah, no, I think the Seahawks played a really good game though. Honestly, I mean, the Falcons are no joke of a team. The Falcons are a good football team. I don't think they showed up to play as much this week, but the Seahawks are good. K9's a problem, though. I'll say that. K9 is a problem for.
Yeah, he finds his way into the end zone every single week. And Seattle's been decimated by injuries, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. So if they can get healthy on that end, they can, make a bit of a run. They've got the Bills this week, and then they've got the Rams, Niners, Cardinals, and Jets, and then the Cardinals again. So I'd argue that after this game against Buffalo, their next 5 games, you could argue they're the better team right now in all 5 of those games. So we'll see where this Seahawks team goes. It's kind of a week-to-week thing with them, I believe. But when they're on, they're on. And this game was the prime example of that. They were a well-oiled machine from the first snap of the game to the last snap of the game. They dominated.
Yeah, I don't ever – oh, my bad.
Their division's very – open right now because the 49ers have just been decimated by injuries, and the Cardinals show up every once in a while, and then the Rams also are decimated with injuries. So, I mean, their division's still open.
I think we'll have to relook at the NFC West come like the end of November, come after Thanksgiving, and be like, okay, where do these teams actually stand? Yeah,
that's going to give you a lot better of a view because honestly, I think all 4 of these teams are extremely like hit or miss. Like the Seahawks, I don't know what to think about the Seahawks still. They're definitely a hit or miss team. The Niners are just decimated with injuries, so that's kind of sucks for them. But like, the Rams are getting Cooper Kupp back, and Puka Nacua is coming back in a week or so. So they're going to be getting those 2 guys back. The Cardinals, like you said, they show up every now and then.
The Cardinals are the Cardinals, dude. I don't even know how to – they're the Cardinals. Like, that's the best way I can describe them.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know. The Cardinals are – they're just whatever. But the Seahawks, they got a shot at the division. The Niners – I think the Niners are probably they're in a rough spot. I don't know.
The Niners are easily the best team when they're healthy, but they're
not at all.
They've been the most injured team in football.
That's why I'm saying I don't know. Like I'm not taking the Niners out of the discussion, but like it's hard because pretty much all of their starters are hurt right now. Yeah, so like I don't know. This is a weird division this year.
Hey, Kyle Pitts led the Falcons in receiving. You don't see that very often.
He's actually having like a year that we're like, okay, he might actually be a serviceable receiver now.
He's getting decent.
He's got 330 yards, a touchdown.
Hey,
that's a lot better than he has.
Also got in for a little bit there at the end. And like garbage time, they put Penix in.
I mean, yeah, you draft him with the 8th overall pick. I'd hope you'd put him in those kind of situations.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to a more exciting game. Let's talk about this Bengals-Browns game. Me and Weave will dive into this a little bit more later, but the Bengals won 21-14 and are now 3-4, and they've won 2 of their last 3.
Yeah, they're getting there. This was another really ugly win, but win's a win.
That's usually how it goes in the AFC North, especially against the Browns.
Yeah, so I will definitely take that. Burrow's first time winning in Cleveland, so that's a terrible stat, but it's the truth, unfortunately. So it was a very rough win, just like the Giants, but I will take it in the divisional game. So we don't totally suck anymore, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I'm not going to praise the Bengals for 2 wins against bad teams when their offenses look like crap for most of it. I wouldn't say crap against Cleveland. Their offense looked serviceable.
Let's put a pin in what you said just now, because both of the teams that we beat the last 2 weeks, their defenses are very good.
Yeah, but I still
obviously
they're not good as a
obviously the
unit.
Bengals offense is not going to be putting 40 points up against the Browns and the Giants because both of these teams have very good defenses.
The Browns game, their offense looked okay. They looked good enough, right? Joe Burrow played well. Their running game was non-existent. But
I'm not saying that they were good by any means. Our
really
offense has not been good the last 2 weeks, no. But I don't think it's because of a Bengals problem. I think it's because they're playing good defenses.
Yeah, but I still think you got to score more than 17 points against the Giants. I get their defense is good, but come on now.
I mean, ideally.
And seven of those 17 points against the Giants were a touchdown in the last 2 minutes of the game by Chase Brown.
They lead the league in sacks.
I understand that, but
Joe Burrow said he was like, I would rather. He was like, well, when our offense was like going crazy, we were averaging 30 points a game. We were 1-4.
Yeah,
he was like, I'd rather not play as great on offense and win
games. Yeah, obviously. If I mean they got the Eagles at home this week. If they win this game, then
you also have to know that the Bengals offense is capable any given Sunday of putting 40 points up.
No, 100%. I understand that. I'm not gonna praise the Bengals for these last 2 games. I'm gonna see what they do this week, and then
they took care of business.
Yeah, they did what they were supposed to do.
I mean,
but for the Bengals, that hasn't been the case throughout this season.
No.
There's been games where they should have won fairly easily and they lost. So,
everyone knows Deshaun Watson is now out for the rest of the season. I will not be speaking on this from a Deshaun Watson perspective because if I do, I'm going to get enraged. So I will not be talking about it from a Deshaun Watson perspective on this podcast. From the Browns' perspective, it changes nothing. They were bad before. They're bad still.
Yeah, they're still not going to be good.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson was probably the only quarterback he's been better than was Will Levis. Probably, I would say. He's been terrible this whole year, and now he's not playing for the rest of it. So, there's that for you. He had his best game in this game before he went down. He was 15 of 17, but only 128 yards passing. It's not going to get it done. DTR is garbage. Jameis Winston is.
Okay.
Yeah, if that. The Browns are going to be the Browns. They need to tank for probably a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I read. I don't know how true these rumors are, but I read that not actively shopping, but they're listening to calls for a lot of their players.
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I heard Myles Garrett, and then a couple of other like big name guys.
Probably
So
like a Denzel Ward,
because we talked about this. We've talked about this. I mean, with that contract of Deshaun Watson, there's really a limited amount of things that they can do to get better. And
with
so
this current core, yeah.
Yeah, and so it might be that they have to make some trades that they don't really want to do. But I mean, I think Schefter was talking about what Deshaun's contract would be. I think it's over like 90 million in dead cap like each year. So if they were to cut him, like I guess after this season, it would be like 150 something and dead cap, which is that you can't really dig yourself out of that. So.
Yeah, until you get fully out of that.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think like really any way you slice it, they're going to be in a hole for the next like 2 or 3 years. Really, any way you go. Like
this is a contract that could set the
minimum if they hit on their draft picks. If they whiff in the draft, then it's going to be for the foreseeable future. But like I think really any way you cut it, the Browns are in a hole from some angle in the next couple. I mean, either you roll with Deshaun Watson and he sucks, or you cut him and you lose a butt ton of money,
and you still suck for the next.
And you still suck because you can't afford anyone because of the amount of money you lost. Like, yeah, the Browns are going to be in a hole for the next couple of years. If they draft well and they hit on their picks, then I think they can climb out of that hole sooner rather than later, and be respectable. But it's not good. There's no way out of this because of what they did with Deshaun Watson. There's really no way they can get out of this.
Do you think them trading Amari kind of shows that they're willing to kind of move off from some of their better pieces just to get any source of cap space?
I think it does because they gave him up for what was it, a third round pick,
a third and a seventh.
What was it?
A third and a seventh.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it shows that they're kind of ready to dump some of these guys.
Maybe not like a Myles Garrett because he's one of the best edge rushers in football, but like a Joel Bitonio, a Denzel Ward, those kind of guys.
Well, the Browns currently are negative $4.6 million in cap space, so they have the second, they're the second worst cap space behind the Saints.
If they dump Denzel Ward, would that help with the? No, probably not.
Denzel Ward's had a lot of concussions, so. Recently, so there was a little bit of talk that not that they were going to move off from them, but I don't think it would be. I mean, obviously it hurts because Denzel Ward's a great corner, but
Denzel Ward is a really good corner, so it's not going to be great for him like in the current time. But
they might just have to for them to because obviously this team's not winning right now, and you're not getting a quarterback better than Deshaun Watson because you don't have the money to go out and get anybody. So unless you draft a rookie and he just hits the ground running, I mean, you're kind of going to be the same team for the foreseeable future.
Which, I mean, even if, I'm assuming they're going to draft a quarterback, but
I don't know. I don't know if there's any quarterbacks worth drafting in this class with that high.
I was just going to say, I don't know if any of these guys are going to hit the ground running. Like Quinn Ewers and Shadur Sanders and
like Cam Ward.
Like I don't know. If
currently projected the third overall pick,
which they could probably get now. At least they could get one of those three guys.
Yeah, they'll have their pick of the litter at pick number 3.
But I don't think any of those guys are going to come in. I don't think any of those three guys I just named are going to come in and like hit the ground running. Though is the other issue.
I would say maybe the most would be Cam Ward, just based off of his age. And I guess his experience, but still, it's nothing like this draft class, this past year's draft class.
No.
Picks one, like basically all the first rounders are playing pretty well. So
yeah. I mean, all 6 of those. Well, 5 of the 6 of them are playing pretty decent football right now.
Yeah,
4 of the 6. JJ McCarthy's out, and Michael Penix.
But also, shout out Nick Chubb. He came back. He got himself a touchdown.
That was good to see. I was very happy to see that.
That gave Cleveland some.
That's the happiest Cleveland's been in like this entire year.
That was good. That was good for them.
Also, I'm sure me and Weave will get into this later, but since T. Higgins has came back, he's
been a monster.
Great.
Yeah, T. Higgins has been a monster.
He had 9 catches, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns against Baltimore, 7 catches, 77 yards against New York, and then 4 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown this past week against the Browns. So, I mean, we'll probably dive into this a little bit more, but their offense has looked drastically different with him.
Yeah, T. Higgins has been playing some of the best football of his career right now. So that's very good to see. Unfortunately, he will not be a Bengal next year, but
we'll see. We'll see what they do. They might have franchise tagged him to see what they did. That's a conversation for the offseason, but
that's true, I guess.
I will see. He's playing phenomenal right now.
Yeah, he's looking really good.
He is playing now how Weaver thought he was this past offseason.
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least he is proving that he is that
he's proving that he deserves the money wherever he gets it.
For sure.
All right, anything else in that game?
Nah,
I mean, that pretty much there's not too much else to point out there about that, I don't think.
All right. This next one we don't have to spend a lot of time on, but the Bills took care of business, beating the Titans 34-10. Will Levis didn't play because he was hurt, so Mason Rudolph was the quarterback, and he didn't do much better. The Titans are kind of in the same boat as the Browns, where they're just kind of a team that's just I don't really know what to do with them. Like, they're bad, but they don't have really any answers.
I expected this from Buffalo. Yeah. I knew this game wasn't going to be close. I was kind of shocked that the Titans went up 10-0, and then the Bills said, all right, they sat up in their chair and started playing the game correctly. Keon Coleman had 125 yards.
Yeah,
he had easily his best game in the NFL. Amari Cooper had his first touchdown in his first game as a Buffalo Bill. Yeah, so that'll be very good for Buffalo going forward. They just dominated from the second quarter on. There's not really much else to say about that. The Titans are bad. The Bills are an AFC contender again.
I think
the Titans are very, very bad.
Yeah, they are trash. I think one thing to point out is we talked about Josh Allen as an MVP frontrunner the first couple weeks of the season. Is he has not thrown an interception yet this year.
I know.
His big reason why people I guess hate on him is because he turns the ball over too much. But through 7 games, he has yet to throw a turnover yet. So that's definitely promising and exciting for him because that's been really his only downfall is he turns the ball over too much. Other than that, he's a great quarterback. So that's good. I mean, through 7 weeks to not throw an interception is pretty.
Yeah, that's
impressive.
Quarterback play in the NFL has been way better.
CJ Stroud, how many weeks did he go without throwing an interception last year?
I think it was like the first 6 games he didn't throw a pick.
Yeah. So, and I feel like another thing the Bills have been getting together is their run game. I mean, James Cook, he got a touchdown, but he wasn't very efficient. But Ray Davis came in those last 2 games, and he's been really efficient running the ball. Which, if he can get it going, then they'll have a two-headed monster at running back, which will help them expand that offense even more.
Yeah, Ray Davis has definitely earned himself some more playing time. He had a fantastic game against the Jets that James Cook missed. Really well. So, yeah, he's been great for him. That could be a lethal 1-2 duo with him and James Cook if he keeps getting playing time.
Yeah, well, and that division's open as well. I mean, the Jets aren't as good as
I wouldn't call that division open. The Bills have the AFC East on lockdown. I meant
open for the Bills.
Yeah,
because going into the season, we were like, all right, the Dolphins should be good, the Jets should be good, and the Bills should be good. But now it's kind of just the Jets because the Dolphins without Tua have been horrible, and the Jets are a mess.
Well, Tua's coming back though.
Yeah, but they might have dug themselves too far in a hole.
Yeah, they're in a almost 2.5, 3 game hole right now.
Yeah, they're 2-4 right now.
Yeah, that's true. So the Bills kind of have it on lock. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, we said this last week, but I don't know what is going on with the freaking Jets, dude. I know we aren't talking about.
We'll get to that later. We will get to that later because I've got a lot of things to say about that.
All right, do you want to stay in division? Talk about the Colts-Dolphins game.
I will make this game very short. I don't know how the Colts are 4-3. Shane Steichen might have some Mike Tomlin in him. in where no matter what happens, he's going to keep this team at least respectable. And with all the injuries that Indianapolis has had over the course of the year, the fact that they are 4-3 is surprising and slightly encouraging. Their next 5 games are Texans, Vikings, Bills, Jets, Lions. So we will see very quickly how the quality of this team truly. On the Dolphins side of things, Mike McDaniel needs to be under heavy fire for employing Tim Boyle at the NFL level.
Yes.
Why is
how
he
is
like
an NFL quarterback?
I'm glad for my sake, because if they had even a respectable backup, I think the Colts lose this game because their offense was non-existent. But Tim Boyle,
have you seen his college stats?
yeah, he had 12 touchdowns and 26 picks in college as a starter. And I can't remember his NFL stats, but they're worse. He has not won a game as a starter in college or in the NFL. How is he still employed?
It's also criminal that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle combined for 2 catches on 4 targets.
I was concerned for this game because I thought there's no way that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle just get shut down by this Colts secondary, even with Tyler Huntley or whoever throwing them the ball. What is going on? I did not think
Jonnu Smith got 7 targets.
I know. Jonnu Smith was eating them alive.
I know.
Jonnu Smith was the Dolphins' best weapon on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I did not think that Tua Tagovailoa going down would be like the complete destruction of the Dolphins' offense, but
I didn't think that either. But I think that it has been proven for the last 3 years now?
5 weeks.
Well, no, 3 years, I think, because the first time Tua went down with the concussion, the Dolphins were just immediately terrible. And then he was healthy last year, and now it's happening again. They're just terrible. They can't do anything.
They just need to invest in a good backup quarterback.
It's like it is just insane to me, like how reliant this like offensive system is on Tua. Like it is just like mind blowing to me. Like you look at other teams when their backups come in, and it's like serviceable maybe. I mean, you look at the Vikings last year with Josh Dobbs. I mean, they were winning games. Josh Dobbs was playing well. I mean, the Bengals last year with Jake Browning. It's like these backups are usually like they're not going to win you like a multiple playoff games or anything, but they can come in and be serviceable, and you might be able to still compete in the games that you could compete in already. But like the Dolphins, without Tua Tagovailoa, the Dolphins are one of the worst teams in the NFL, and it is just insane to me.
Yeah, I don't understand.
But Mike McDaniel deserves some crap for that too, because there's no reason
Yeah.
why your offensive scheme should be completely inept when you lose your starting quarterback.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Especially when you have Devon Achane, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, etc.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I really like Mike McDaniel a lot, so I'm not going to hate on him too much. But like, it is just like shocking to me.
I am going to hate on him
offense relies on Tua.
This is inexcusable against one of the worst defenses in football, no less. Completely inexcusable.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. It is truly a mystery to me why they literally can't do anything. I mean, see, here's the other thing. You literally have Devon Achane. Just turn around and hand the ball off to him.
Or get him on screens. Do something.
Your backup quarterback, like, as bad as he may be, he is still in the NFL. Like, he should be able to do, like, serviceable things, especially with the weapons he has around him. It is truly insane to me how the Vikings are not the. Why do I keep saying other teams? It is insane to me how the Dolphins go from like a top tier playoff contender to quite possibly
the worst offense in the NFL.
Yeah, without Tua, like it's insane.
Yeah,
I'm sure you love it too, Evan, because without Tua, half of your fantasy
his fantasy team has fallen off a cliff. They've lost 4 straight after Tua went down.
Yeah, like so dude, without Tua, your fantasy team is like it can't do anything. Like
when Tua was there, my team was putting up like 120 to like
you were 3-0.
Yeah, and then since he's gone out, I've like barely put over 100 points, and now that he's coming back, I'm projected 130. So I didn't know that Tua was the reason my team would succeed.
And he's just not even on your team.
No, I guess I could pick him up and just have all the Dolphins.
Might as well. Why not?
Dolphins people. But I saw an interesting stat today about Anthony Richardson. He was 10 for 24 with 129 yards, 0 touchdowns. But on ESPN today, they were talking about that game, and he has a 49% completion percentage, which is last. He has a 23% off-target percentage, which is last, and a negative 11% completion percentage over expectation, which is also last. So he has
he's been objectively terrible this season. I do think in this game he played better than his stats will indicate. There were a lot of just like rub routes that they weren't quite executing well, and he got a couple huge first downs with his legs in the second half of that game. But as far as a passer, he has been the worst quarterback in the league in terms of throwing the football. But I mean, here's the thing. I went into this year like knowing it was going to be a roller coaster. There was going to be high highs and low lows. Through the first 2 or 3 weeks of the year, it was like that. And then he gets hurt, and then he comes back, and he's still continuing to play terrible. So they're not gonna move on from him after this year. They shouldn't. He should be the starter for the rest of the year. But next season will be the make or break year. If he's still playing like this after next season, it might unfortunately be time to move on. But I mean, he's still got over half of the season left. He's going to improve the more that he plays if he can stay healthy. But as of right now, it's like I feel bad for like Josh Downs and Michael Pittman because they're good receivers, but their quarterback is just not incapable, but incredibly inconsistent at getting them the football.
Yeah,
I'm not going to comment too much about this because you all know my feelings.
No, yeah, he's terrible right
situation,
now. Yeah.
And I don't really want to start a fight right now.
That's fair. All right, let's move on to this Packers-Texans game. This was a good one. The Packers won 24-22. Jordan Love versus C.J. Stroud, and Jordan Love got the upper hand on this one.
The Packers they're very, very good.
They're shaping up, man. I mean, I'm telling you, I think people keep forgetting about them. You know, people say, "Oh, the Lions are just." I
don't think people are forgetting about the Packers. It's just that the Lions are doing Lions things.
The Lions are really good, yeah, but. Dude, I'm telling you, man, these Packers are.
They might be the second best team in the NFC.
Good.
To be full on honest with you right now, the Packers might be the second best team in the NFC behind Detroit. Yeah. Which is it's a shame because they're in the same division.
I think they are. I think the Packers are an extremely good football team. This was 2 really good teams, and it came down to the wire. You know, like I assumed it would. Came to a walk-off field goal, pretty much. I mean, this is 2 pretty evenly matched football teams here.
Yeah, I think the biggest story... C.J. Stroud did not play good. He played bad. He played objectively bad in this game.
Yeah.
But I think that the biggest story of this game was the Texans' offensive line. They have a serious problem on the left side of their offensive line, just not blocking C.J. Stroud on blitzes half the time.
He got blindsided a couple bunch.
Yeah. Joe, I'm telling you, Joe Mixon is... He's still him.
Yeah, I did not quite think that was going to be the case. Joe Mixon is playing like one of the best backs in the league right now, and I did not quite
4 touchdowns in his last 4 games. And...
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that the Bengals decided to let him walk.
They had to. They had no option. They had to. But it's unfortunate that a team like the Texans are the team that scooped him up, and he's added a complete new dimension to this offense. But Jordan Love, when people talk that gunslingers don't exist in the modern NFL, that's just not true because Jordan Love is the definition of a gunslinger. End of the game. You are in comfortable field goal range with like 30 seconds left. All you need to do is set your spot up for the kicker to where he wants it to kick a game-winning field goal. He's still throwing a 50-50 ball into the end zone and putting the game on the line. That had me cracking up when I saw that. When I saw that in real time, 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. He throws a boneheaded interception, and then he throws a beautiful ball down the field and by the pylon of the end zone. Like
Jordan Love is the definition of a quarterback letting his balls hang.
Yeah, you're gonna have to edit that out.
I don't think you have to edit that out.
We talked about last year how he had some Brett Favre in him, and he definitely does.
He does have
some players who are like, wow, what a play. And then other players you're like, what the heck are you doing?
He's a brave man.
He had one where he threw off his back foot, absolute dime. And then, like Nick said, he just had a terrible boneheaded interception.
He's one of the most interesting and fun to watch quarterbacks in the entire league right now because you never know what you're going to get from him. It's like sitting on a knife edge every play, which some people might be into that. I don't know. I'd want my quarterback to be a little safer, but I'm not going to trash on him because they're winning games and he's playing well as a whole.
Wait, what? Andy? Never mind. Okay.
But their defense is legit.
No, the Packers' defense is one of the best in the league, for sure. Really? Which is shocking. It's not shocking for me because I thought it was going to be this way with Xavier McKinney, and they fired their defensive coordinator. So I didn't expect them to be quite this good, but their defense has definitely improved. The Packers are really good. The Texans are also a pretty dang good football team. They just 2 elite teams. One team has to lose.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Great game.
All right, let's talk about the game of the week. The Lions beat the undefeated at the time Vikings 31-29. This was a great back and forth game. The Lions won off of a game-winning field goal. I think we kind of mentioned it, but I believe that the Lions are the best team in the NFC, and they're my favorites to come out of the NFC as it currently stands.
They might be the best team in the NFL.
I would like to point out, though, my bad, I misspoke, but the Vikings are a real team, too.
No, I think this game confirmed that the Vikings are a very, very good football team. Beyond
all understanding, the Vikings are a very legit football team. So that's kind of like what I got out of that game.
Yeah,
we know about the Lions. The Lions beat the Cowboys by 40 points in Dallas. So we know what the Lions can do. But the Vikings, dude, they're legit. This game just confirmed it. This is a good team.
Yeah,
I think we have to talk about Jared Goff as a potential MVP candidate.
He's so good. He's so good.
He had 3 incompletions this game, and on this season he has completed 73% of his passes.
Wow.
1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 picks.
The Lions have more passing touchdowns than they do incompletions, I think, in the last couple of games or something.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Some sort of random stat.
I think in the past 3 games, Jared Goff has 7 touchdown passes and 7 incompletions. And he has not turned the ball over one time. Yeah, 155.8 QBR against Seattle, 153.8 QBR against Dallas, 140 QBR against Minnesota.
Yeah. So, in their past 4 games, the Lions have scored more touchdowns. They've scored 18 touchdowns the last 4 games, and Jared Goff has had incompletions. He's had 15 incompletions.
And here's the thing. The Brian Flores Vikings defense is
really
not hard or not easy to solve at all. He got blitzed on over half of his dropbacks. And make no mistake about it, Jared Goff is not a mobile quarterback. He's not a guy that is going to shake off a blitzer and scramble and extend plays. He's going to have to make adjustments in the pocket and make adjustments before the snap. And he did it at an all-pro level against Sunday. Not against Sunday, on Sunday. Sunday's not an NFL team. And also, Jahmyr Gibbs has no business putting a Viking defender in the shadow realm like he did on that juke for one of his touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs is also playing like one of the best backs in football right now.
And they have David Montgomery as well.
Yeah, so even if Jahmyr Gibbs has an off game, they've got Knuckles in the backfield too.
Sonic and Knuckles. That's the best.
That's the best nickname in
running
football
back
right now.
Duo nickname. That's awesome. Yeah, Jared Goff. Here's some more stats. So Jared Goff under pressure is second in passing yards, first in yards per attempt, first in completion percentage over expected, and first in passer rating.
Dude, he's playing like a diet Peyton Manning right now. I'm being so serious.
He's just slicing through defenses.
The Lions are so good, dude.
Well, now they won't have J-Mo because he got suspended again.
But I think he's
they're
only
gonna be
missing like
fine.
2 games.
Yeah, but I mean,
Even without J-Mo, they're still going to be fine.
yeah, he did
Khalif
nothing.
Raymond will
He
step
did-
up and have 150 yards in a game.
Yeah.
You
Dude.
watch.
Like, literally last year, they went to the NFC Championship, and it was pretty much just Amon-Ra and Sam Laporta the entire time. So, I think they're going to be fine for the next 2 weeks without J-Mo.
I still do think they need to get a pass rusher. There were times where they were getting close to Sam Darnold, but they don't have the same impact that Aiden Hutchinson brought to them.
Yeah.
That's why I said last week that I think Aiden Hutchinson was the most irreplaceable player on that Lions team, because no one on that team is bringing what he was going to bring.
Yeah, losing Aiden Hutchinson is definitely a huge blow for him, but they're still firmly a contender without him.
Miles Garrett, Detroit Lion.
Let's not do that. He
Max
should come to
Crosby,
Cincinnati.
Detroit Lion.
He should come to Cincinnati. But yeah, I mean, the Vikings, like you guys mentioned, this showed that they're a legit team. Sam Darnold played pretty well. Aaron Jones played well. Justin Jefferson did Justin Jefferson things. Their defense is still really good. I mean, they forced 3 fumbles. They only recovered 1 of them, but yeah, they're a legit team, and the battle between these 2 teams in the division is going to be fun to watch.
Don't forget Green Bay's there too,
And Green Bay, yeah.
and Chicago. I still don't know how good Chicago is, but
All 4
they're
of
4
these
and
teams
2.
are pretty legit. I mean, I think the Packers and the Lions are your 2 best teams, I would say, but they're all 4 really good.
Yeah.
You know the meme where it's like how one team gets to like the conference championship game and it's like the sunshine and rainbow path, and it's like how the other team gets to the conference championship game and it's like hell, like it's just like broken streets and like fire all over the place. That is the NFC North this year.
Yeah. All right, staying in the NFC, I don't know if you guys wanted to really talk much about this game. The Eagles-Giants game, Daniel Jones got benched. The Eagles took care of business.
Saquon Barkley revenge game.
Revenge
Yeah,
game.
the Giants are not
He
good.
immediately made
outside
the
of
Giants
defense.
regret letting him go.
It's almost like we called that when they paid
Yeah.
Daniel Jones $40 million.
Daniel Jones got
Chose to
sacked
franchise
7
tag him.
times.
Oh,
I think all by Georgia people.
He got sacked like 5 times in the first like 18 minutes of the game. It was absurd.
It was just brutal. Brutal day for
Like, I'd be on Red Zone. I'd look up every 5 minutes and they'd show Daniel Jones getting sacked again. It's through the first like hour and a half of the show. It was ridiculous.
yeah.
not great.
Yeah, another game that was horrible, but I just want to mention one thing. The Rams-Raiders game, that was an awful game. We're not going to really talk about it. But Brock Bowers is solidifying himself as one of the best tight ends. in the
GOAT
NFL
fantasy
currently.
pickup, Brock Bowers.
Yeah. I mean, he's second in receptions for tight ends, 4th in yards, and he only has 1 touchdown, but that's only going to go up with Devontae Adams. So, I mean, he got 14 targets.
Yeah. It's almost like he was a generational tight end prospect that
Yeah.
we all said back when in 2022 when Ohio State was playing Georgia. And we were like, Brock
True.
Bowers is ridiculous.
That is
He
true.
fell, where did he fall to? Like
13. I thought the Colts were going to draft him because I thought after the Jets passed on him, I was like, he might become an Indianapolis Colt, and then the Raiders just took him. And I was like, dang it. I was so mad.
I was furious because I thought he was going to become a Bengal.
Yeah, Brock Bowers is a stud. Other than that, the Raiders are a joke, though.
Yeah, they're trash. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL. Do we want to talk about this Commanders-Panthers game? I mean, this was another bad game, but Jaden got hurt very early on, and then Marcus Mariota went scored 2 touchdowns,
I think
5 incompletions.
I think it's about appropriate that we victory lap on our Panthers take at this point in the year. How do you score 7 points against the Commanders?
Yeah, their defense is horrible.
I get the Commanders are they're a pretty good team. I don't know about pretty good, but they're good minimum. They should be playoff contenders for the rest of the year. But still, their defense is terrible. Their defense is bad. How do you put up 7 points? And the 7 points were in the fourth quarter. 7 garbage time points against the Commanders. Like, how do you... The Panthers are one of the worst teams I've ever seen. Like, I'm not even joking.
By Marcus Mariota.
He played good.
He played really good.
The Panthers might genuinely be the worst franchise in all of sports right now.
That I can't even... Maybe the Wizards... Maybe. I don't know. That's not a terrible take. Their owner's a moron. They have a very, I mean, we've talked about the Panthers ad nauseum, but they're a disaster right now.
There's like 6, like the battle for like picks 1 through 6 are all between like very, very, very bad teams. Like it's the Titans, the Browns, the Patriots, and the Panthers, and then the Raiders, and then like the Jags. And like just all horrendous teams.
Just a bunch of terrible football teams.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah. All right, this was another good game. Somehow this wasn't the Sunday night game, but I digress. The Chiefs took care of business against the 49ers 28-18, and they stay undefeated. But once again, Patrick Mahomes did not play great.
This was a sloppy game, dude. Both quarterbacks
still the favorite for MVP.
Nah, Lamar Jackson overtook him after last night.
He's second.
He should be like 8th.
Yeah,
he should not even be in the top 5
for MVP. Drake May has the same amount of touchdown passes as he has in 2 games.
It's because Patrick Mahomes' name is Patrick Mahomes. I'm serious. That's why
he's getting the Tom Brady treatment now.
Yeah, he genuinely is.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but he's not playing well.
This year he doesn't.
This year he doesn't.
This year he has 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions.
That's crazy.
That's terrible.
The thing that's scary is they're 6-0, and he's objectively bad.
No, the Chiefs have.
They're going to repeat. They're going to three-peat.
They've got some kind of like. I'm trying to find a way. They've got some kind of like plague about them that whenever they play a decent football team, said decent football team forgets how to play football at an NFL level.
Purdy had 3 picks. He looked terrible.
Yeah.
Which the Chiefs' defense is elite, and they've got an elite offensive line. And Kareem Hunt he's not the Kareem Hunt of old, but he's revitalizing his career while Pacheco's out. But like. Every single decent team the Chiefs have played has just forgotten how to play football, with the exception of like the Ravens and the Bengals.
It also doesn't help when basically a quarter into the game, the 49ers wide receiver core was Jacob Cowing, Ricky Pearsall, and like Ronnie Bell.
Yeah,
doesn't help anything.
Brandon Ayuk suffered.
That's not ideal.
Done.
Yeah, he's done for the year. He tore his ACL and MCL, so that was a pretty gruesome injury.
He's done for the year for sure.
And then Debo was out with pneumonia, which I think he got out of the hospital today.
He did.
And Ricky Pearsall, who got shot,
is playing now. Yeah.
Is playing before CMC.
Yeah, that's true. The 49ers are a train wreck right now, and it's just because of injuries, and that is very unfortunate.
Even when they were fully healthy, though, there's something off about this team, and it's more than just CMC being out. I think it's more than just CMC being out. I don't think Brock Purdy's processing defense is nearly as well as he was last season, and that might be partially because CMC is not in the game. But I mean, I
something's up.
Like Purdy, I really hate saying this because before the year I was like, you can't put up these kind of numbers in the NFL without at least being a decent quarterback overall. But now Brock Purdy, without all the skill position players, has turned into a pumpkin. So it's like I'm back to not knowing what I think of him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 49ers.
It's been a tough go for the Niners.
I mean, yeah, honestly, like this, like I didn't overly enjoy watching this game. Like it really wasn't that like awesome of a game. Like going into the week, it's like, oh, this should be the night game. But like I don't think either team really played that well.
Yeah.
It was just a very sloppy game. I mean, it's like Nick said. I mean, the Chiefs just have some sort of like, it's the Chiefs.
They bring a virus to whatever team they play for that week.
Like there is just absolutely no reason that this Chiefs team should be undefeated. There's no reason at all. It is just shocking to me.
But they are, and that's all that matters.
Year. Like they're going to three-peat because they are undefeated, looking like a mid football team right now.
They're playing undefeated. Terrible offensively, and they're still 6-0, and they're beating good teams. So it's like
they're going to three-peat.
Imagine what happens when they actually lock in for the postseason. It's like what do you even do?
It's absurd. Like they are just not even close to as good of a team as the Lions. But I guarantee you, they'd still beat the Lions.
I think the only two teams right now that can beat the Chiefs when the Chiefs play their best are the Ravens and the Lions.
And even that, I don't think so.
Even that, they still might beat them. So
because it's like you said, every time the Chiefs play a good team, that said good team doesn't get off the bus. Yeah. Look at the Ravens last year. I mean, the Ravens last year, arguably from top to bottom, were a better team than they are this year. Like from top to bottom, like defense and like everything.
Their defense was slightly better, but their offense is way more.
That's why I said from top to bottom, because their defense was a little bit.
They were a more complete team.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The Ravens last year, I would say, were probably a little bit more
their defense
complete.
was a lot better.
Yeah, and they showed up at their home field and played like mid at best against the Chiefs last year, and they were just by far the better team.
They played bad.
Well, it's like great elite defense or Derrick Henry. Which one would we rather?
Unstoppable force versus immovable
elite rushing.
That's kind of what we have right now. They traded in a phenomenal defense for an unreal offense. So
their defense is not bad though.
No,
I have bad, but that's why I said last year I feel like the Ravens were a better, like, well-rounded team last year, because I feel like their defense was better.
Yeah, we'll talk.
And their offense was still very good last year.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
Talk about the Ravens more.
But my point is that, like, you have the Ravens very well could have been the best team in the NFL last year, and they host the Chiefs at their place, and they just do not play well at all. And the Chiefs were just by far the inferior team. So it's like, I don't really care who the Chiefs are playing. They're going to probably win the game. Like, you put the Lions up against them, the Lions are just by far the better team. They'll probably lose, but somehow. Like, it happens.
Dan Campbell will go for it on 4th down 8 times and convert 4 of them.
I just don't understand. Like, it makes me so mad that this team is undefeated when you have Patrick. He has more picks than touchdowns. Like, what is this?
It's wild.
It's like this is the Raiders, just win, baby. They look terrible, but they're just winning, so it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this Sunday night game. The Steelers won 37-15. We criticized, and pretty much the whole country criticized, Mike Tomlin benching Justin Fields when they were 4-2. But there's a reason that Mike Tomlin is a NFL coach, and we are not.
He is very well compensated, as he said.
Yeah.
I want to start. I feel so bad for Justin Fields. I'm putting my Buckeye bias aside too. He did literally nothing to warrant getting benched, and he still got benched, and now he's never getting his job back after the Steelers' performance in this game. He did nothing.
Russell Wilson, absolutely lays a enormous egg.
He played good, though. Russell Wilson played objectively good.
Oh, I know. Game. That's what I'm saying.
This was his best game in the NFL in, over a year.
Oh, yeah.
Fields was he was like, I didn't play good enough to keep the starting role when he had 10 touchdowns and 1 interception that led him to a 4-2 record.
Yeah. But that shows character.
But it just sucks for him that, he played really well.
Yeah. And before we talk about the Jets, because I think the biggest storyline from this game is the Jets just are a disaster.
It's the same dang things we said last week, honestly. Is there anything new to say?
The Steelers should be getting as much praise as the Jets are going to get criticism for this game. I think the Steelers are actually like a good football team this year. I think they've earned their record for the first time since like maybe 2020. Because their offense is moving the ball fairly consistently. Their defense is still elite, and their special teams is the best in the NFL. They're blocking kicks at an absurd level right now. And they as a whole, seem bought in. I get the Colts beat them, which, like, that's hilarious that they beat them. But I think Pittsburgh is unironically a good team. And you should not take them lightly at all for the rest of this year.
Yeah. What did you want to say about the Jets?
Oh, they're a complete disaster. They are. There's no cohesion. There's no accountability. There's no cohesiveness. There's terrible execution offensively and defensively. Yeah, I feel like the Chelsea guy right now. They're just a complete mess. Aaron Rodgers has not taken accountability one time until today for the Jets' poor performance.
He did say something on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the Pat McAfee show, so like, he's not going to say that to Jets reporters. And they've got like, I'm not pinning this all on Aaron Rodgers. There was a ball that bounced off of Garrett Wilson's chest that the Steelers picked off and took it back to the 1 yard line. You've got to catch that.
That was horrible.
Like you have to haul that in if you're Garrett Wilson. The Jets defense, for how elite they supposedly are, let the Steelers put up 37 points on them. I cannot remember the last time the Steelers scored 37 points in a football game. Like it's what, at least like 4 years since at least 2020.
30 something against the Raiders last week.
32 though.
Yeah,
like,
but it wasn't 37. No, yeah, their offense recently has been horrible.
It's just I thought that getting Devontae Adams would at least make their offense serviceable to watch. Their offense is a complete disaster right now. They're just a bad team. They're just a bad football team right now. They suffer from the same problems that bad teams have, and they're 2-5, and their schedule doesn't get any easier. As I say that, they play the Patriots next week, but still.
Well, they've just been weird like these last couple weeks. Like they fire their head coach, and
I don't know what they're doing.
Then they trade for Devontae Adams, and that didn't fix anything. Neither of those moves fixed anything.
It's almost like firing your defensive-minded head coach would make your defense worse. That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know why they fired Robert Saleh. No, I do know why, because Aaron Rodgers told him to, but like it's still stupid.
Listened. Yeah.
The Jets are gonna be the Jets, and like
That's what Bill Belichick said. He was like, "Well, the Jets are the Jets." So
I didn't even know he said that.
Yeah, he basically was like, "Yeah, the Jets are the Jets." There's a reason why they're never good.
Yeah, they need a hard.
There's a reason why he signed for the Jets for like not even 24 hours and then left.
That's true.
This is what I'm talking. There are certain teams in the NFL that I cannot fathom being good in my lifetime because they have a culture problem internally.
And the Jets are one of them.
The Jets are one of those teams. Like yeah. I don't know when they haven't made the playoffs since what, 2010, and it's probably going to be a 15th season that they've missed the playoffs in a row.
Sacramento Kings type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a bad football team.
Well, I saw this one guy. He's a Jets fan and a Mets fan, and they both lost on Sunday. So he was going through the ringer.
Yeah, I saw that video. He was going through it.
It was bad.
Yeah, I don't even I have no clue what you do here, as the Jets.
I am just happy that I am not a New York football fan because both teams are not good.
Ohio's pretty bad too, but man, New York's
At least we have the Buckeyes.
That's
so
true. That's true.
I mean, they have the Yankees.
Yeah, New York City cares about the Yankees. God, I hate the Yankees, but We don't have to
Yankees
talk about
Dodgers
that.
World Series.
I'm gonna vomit in my mouth hearing that.
There's no passion. There's no vision. There's no aggression.
All right, let's move on to this one of the Monday night games, the more exciting one. The Ravens beat the Bucks 41-31, and Lamar Jackson continued to play at an MVP level with 5 touchdown passes. And Derrick Henry, he chipped in with 169 yards on the ground as well, which didn't hurt. The Ravens are, like we said, they're a juggernaut.
Yeah.
Offensively.
My biggest complaint with this game is why on earth are the Buccaneers starters still in at the end of the game there? Because Chris Godwin is now out for the year because they wanted to score another garbage time touchdown. They were down by 10 points with a minute left, no timeouts.
Just sit your starters at that point. Yeah. I get playing till the last second ticks off the clock, but it's a regular season game. At some point, you just got to accept that you're going to lose and move on.
Well, that was the dumbest thing that I've ever seen.
Godwin's out for the year, and then Mike Evans is out for, I think I heard, 3 weeks.
They said he's probably not going to return until after the Buccaneers Week 11 bye.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not coming back till after Week 11.
Yeah, so their receiving room got destroyed.
That completely changed the expectations for Tampa Bay this season, especially because their next 3 games are Falcons, Chiefs, Niners.
That's not great.
So, it sucks because I'm rooting for Tampa Bay. I'm rooting for Baker Mayfield.
Baker was playing really well.
I know
he was, but he just lost his players.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's got K. Dotton to throw to now.
Marlon Humphrey did own him though.
I mean, yeah, but just because Marlon Humphrey's Marlon Humphrey. Lamar Jackson he's playing better than last year. His evolution as a passer from week to week is remarkable. He is progressing at an alarming and quite frankly frightening rate. And then you've got Derrick Henry adding 170 yards on the ground.
Well, the crazy thing is, Derrick Henry was a non-factor for 3/4 of that game. And then he had an 80-yard run. And then you look, he's he has 169 yards on 15 carries and a receiving touchdown. But for most of that game, I mean, he was held in check.
It didn't matter, though.
But it doesn't matter.
Either Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry is going to tear your defense apart. Rashad Bateman had a long touchdown.
I think Lamar's had 50 or more rushing yards in almost every game this season.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Lamar Jackson
except
today.
That Commanders game.
Lamar Jackson, I'd drop 150 points in fantasy and still lose by 15 because Lamar Jackson exists.
Well, I lost because of a Rashad White garbage time passing touchdown, so that was annoying.
It sucks.
I don't even think I don't think we can talk about fantasy because you guys. I would trade anything. I would trade my entire team to be in your shoes right now.
Mark Andrews is still alive. That's good for you.
Yeah, you might have to start playing him again. I guarantee you when you start playing him, he's not going to do anything.
Guarantee you will. Guarantee you. Guarantee you.
But, I mean, Lamar had 5 incompletions and 5 touchdowns.
He had 280 yards on 17 completions. That's ridiculous. That's over 10
He's
yards.
Currently 5th in yards, 2nd in touchdowns, and 2nd in QBR.
Yeah, and they're fine.
Well, what's wild is I was reading something. People who are Burrow fans are he's better than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, and people who are Josh Allen fans are he's better than Burrow and Lamar fans are he's the best. All 3 of them are going nuts this year.
No, yeah. They've been the 3 best quarterbacks in football.
Yeah,
this season.
All 3 of them have been great.
That is true.
So,
it's nice to see that, I guess.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they have to go against Thanos, who just happens to play in Kansas City. Yeah.
But he's been playing bad.
It doesn't matter.
They're still going to win.
But, yeah, I think, it's crazy. Do you want to talk about the other game? It was kind of a grind.
Literally nothing to say about
the
this
one
game.
thing I'm going to say about this game is that the Chargers have an uncanny ability to draft elite-level quarterbacks and still find ways to lose games with them. How is Justin Herbert going to throw 350 yards and you still only drop 15 points against the Cardinals? That, angers me internally. How do you do that?
I have no idea. I knew once they signed Jim Harbaugh, that Herbert's numbers would dip.
Yeah.
He threw for 350 yards.
Yeah, but like on the season, his numbers are not impressive.
Oh yeah, his leading receiver was Will Dissly.
A career backup tight end.
Like there's very clearly a direction with the Chargers, but they don't have the personnel to pull it off, especially in the receiving department. Why is Will Dissly getting 8 targets for 81 yards? And
he's just that guy.
I seriously cannot fathom your quarterback throwing for 350 yards and you putting up 15 points.
Well, my complaint with this game is
they've thrown for over 305 touchdowns and lost.
That did happen. Yeah.
Well, my only complaint with this game is just the fact that Kyler Murray doesn't like Marvin Harrison. So, other than that,
Marvin Harrison Jr. Don't disrespect the OG.
He did have him.
He scored 5 points, and I lost because of that. So I'm gonna put a little bit of disrespect on him.
But overall, I mean, Kyler played fine.
Kyler Murray had a good game. Yeah,
James Conner's a stud.
Yeah, that's true.
But here's the thing, though: it's not like Marvin Harrison Jr. is not getting open. Like if you've watched the film, he is wide open on like 2 post routes a game that Kyler Murray just doesn't throw to him.
Well,
he doesn't like Marvin Harrison, and I don't know why.
Open, I think Kyler was pressured like heavily, so he wasn't able to see it on the double move that he ran, and he was just like
he was wide open on the like.
Yeah, I think Kyler got pressured, so I think he checked it down.
It's not. Yeah, it's not like Marv is not playing good.
Yeah, he's just not getting the targets that we expect.
Yeah, like we said earlier, the Cardinals are the Cardinals. I don't know what to expect with them. I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but they have 0 chance if they do not get Marvin Harrison Jr. the football.
Yeah, they got to just start feeding him, get his confidence. I mean, I don't know if he was 100% because he just had a concussion last week, but he was out there. So,
other than that, I don't think either one of those teams are particularly good. That game angers me internally on all fronts.
Yeah. All right, shall we get into some predictions?
Let's do it. I have to pee and eat dinner, so let's get the predictions going.
All right. Well, Nick and Joel won the week this week. They both went 10-5. Zach, you went 9-6. I went 8-7, bringing up the rear. I had a rough week, but brings the overall totals to Zach's at 65 and 42. Excuse me. Me and Joel are at 63 and 44, and Nick's at 62 and 45.
Yes, sir. I know ball.
So we're all right around the same. We've a couple games ahead, but maybe that'll change this week. Starting off with Thursday night, we got the Vikings at Rams. This one should be fairly easy. I think Kupp should be back.
Cooper Kupp should be playing this week.
And I know they reinstated Puka, but I doubt he plays because it's a very quick turnaround. But
I'm going to probably take the Vikings here just because they are a really good team.
I actually think this game is going to be a good game, especially if Cooper Kupp plays.
I do agree with that.
Because Sean McVay is one of the best offensive minds in football. He's going to find ways to dissect that Brian Flores defense. I think if Puka was playing too, I would actually pick the Rams in this game just because they're at home, but I will also take Minnesota in this game, but I would not be shocked at all if the Rams came out on top in this one.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Vikings. Even with Cooper Kupp back, Matthew Stafford hasn't been playing very well. And we saw against Detroit that the Vikings are legit. Their defense is really good. So I'm going to go with the Vikings. But it should be a good game with Kupp back, which is good to see. All right, we got Ravens-Browns.
This is a Baltimore sweep.
Yep, yeah, Ravens.
Titans-Lions.
This is a Lions sweep.
Lions sweep.
Lions are taking that one.
Cardinals at Dolphins. Tua will be back.
For that reason, I will be taking Miami.
Tua is.
Are you guaranteed that Tua is playing in this game?
I am 85% sure.
Well, If
I'll
Tua's
take
back,
it.
then
Let me look.
the Cardinals are just weird. Like,
Tua Tagovailoa has been designated to return from IR with the hopes of playing on Sunday.
all right, if Tua plays, then I'll take the Dolphins because the Cardinals are weird.
So I think he should be playing. I am also going with the Dolphins if Tua plays. If he doesn't play, then I'm going with the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I
I
agree
think
with
that's
that.
how all of us are thinking.
But I guess we're all picking the Dolphins.
Yeah, but I'm expecting Tua to play, and I think he will. Jets at Patriots.
You know
Jets
what?
Always struggle in Foxborough.
Yeah, and Drake May has been playing. He's
Very
played well over the first 2 games. I'm going to take New England in this game, unironically. And I think this will, if the people aren't saying the Jets are just a bad football team, I think this will be the game that confirms that the Jets are just a bad football team.
You know,
Flip the coin.
yeah. I mean, I think this is a flip of the coin. I think I'm gonna have to take the Jets, though. I mean, I don't think they're that bad. Well,
They're 2-5.
How bad was the? Let me check something real quick, though. Let me check real quick.
Here, I'll make my pick while you're talking. I'm going with the Jets. I just think there's no way that they can lose. Like, if they lose this game, they're completely done. Hassan Reddick is back, which should help a little bit. It's not going to fix any problems, but he should be back. And the offensive line for the Patriots is objectively horrible. But Drake May's been playing really well. But outside of Drake May playing really well, there's really nothing to write home about with this Patriots team. But the Jets always struggle in Foxborough, but I'm going to give them the edge in this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to stay with the Jets on this one as well.
All right,
I'll be
Falcons Bucks. This game would have been really good.
Yeah.
But the Bucks are depleted.
It's still a
give me the
divisional
Falcons
game,
again.
though.
Falcons will sweep them.
It's in Tampa. But yeah, I'm going with the Falcons. They're just a very good team on offense, and without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, I think Jalen McMillan's going to be their wide receiver 1. So it might be a tough go for Baker.
Yeah, I'll take Atlanta as well. I think if the Bucks weren't idiots, if Chris Godwin didn't go down, I'd probably take Tampa Bay in this game. But
yeah. All right, Eagles-Bengals in Cincinnati. Should be a good one.
This is another tough one to pick.
I'm taking Philadelphia in this game. I still don't trust that Bengals defense. And the Eagles' offense has been playing very well ever since Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown came back. Plus, I'm very scared that Saquon is just going to tear the Bengals' defense apart.
Yes, which I'm sure he will do.
So I'm going to take Philadelphia in this game.
Those are all pretty valid reasons.
If the Bengals win this game, though, then the Bengals hype train might be at least back on the track. I don't know if it's left the station yet, but they'd be 500 again. So
I think I am going to.
It is the Bengals whiteout game as well.
There is that too.
Unfortunately, this is not college football, so that I don't really think that matters.
I think that I'm going to probably I am going to accept probable defeat on this one, and I'm going to roll with the Bengals.
The Bengals are 2.5 point favorites somehow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why the Bengals are favored in this game.
They are. Maybe because it's at home. Yeah, I'm gonna give the edge to the Bengals as well. Saquon Barkley is gonna do Saquon Barkley things. I understand that. I honestly think this is going to be a very high scoring game. I think Joe Burrow has the capability to just absolutely shred this defense, and I think Saquon and A.J. Brown will absolutely destroy us on defense.
Plus, Geno Stone's now out for the year. He broke his ankle late in that game against Cleveland.
Is he out for the year?
Yes, he had an air cast on his leg.
I didn't see that.
Well, it says he's questionable.
No. Really?
I
swear I thought he broke his leg.
I saw like post game interviews saying that like
It says Stone is considered week to week due to a left leg injury.
Oh, he avoided a serious fracture. I did not know that until right now.
And
I'm still going to
I
take
thought
the Eagles though.
There was a post game interview that I think I saw. He had said like if it was up to him, he wouldn't miss any time at all.
Yeah.
All I saw was
But
that he had an air cast on his leg.
I think this is going to be kind of how that Ravens game was, or it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I'm going to give the edge to the Bengals, and like I will probably be wrong.
Yeah.
Bengals bias. The orange tinted glasses are clouding your vision.
Yes, but I'm willing to take that risk.
Nick, I didn't hear a single word you said there, to be honest with you.
Don't worry about it.
You were like breaking in and out.
Packers at Jags.
Packers.
You know, if there's
this
always
require any explanation.
No, I'm picking the Packers, but if there's always one random game in the NFL that like no one expects to happen, this could be one of them. I don't know, but I'm going to take the Packers in this game.
All right, Colts at Texans.
This game, I listen. You all are going to think I'm crazy. I unironically think this game will be close because the past 2 times that Anthony Richardson has played C.J. Stroud, he's lost. Or no, the past 2 times the Colts have played the Texans, they lost by 2 points in Week 1. They lost by 4 points in Week 18 last year, and then they beat the Texans by 18 at their place Week 2 last season. But I'm taking Houston. I think they're gonna get a bounce back win at home after their loss to the Packers. But I think it'll be a close game, unironically.
Yeah, I'm going Texans.
Me too.
All right, Saints at Chargers.
The Saints are terrible. They can't stop the run. I'm taking the Chargers.
I agree with that.
The Chargers. Panthers Broncos.
Broncos.
This is a terrible week. Oh my goodness. there's like maybe 2 or 3 like good games. Chiefs Raiders.
Chiefs.
Gosh dang it.
Chiefs. Bears Commanders.
This is an interesting game.
This was a tough one to pick.
Jaden's week to week, so I don't know if Jaden's going to play or not.
I think they're going to do everything in their power to have Jaden Daniels play in this game.
Yeah, I'm sure that they will.
You know what? I think Jaden Daniels will. I think the Commanders have been tested and the Bears have not. Even though the Commanders lost against the Ravens, they know what it's like to play a good team. And they're at home. I'm gonna take Washington in this game.
The thing that's making it tough for me is just Jaden Daniels playing, you know?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I think the Bears could win even if Jaden Daniels plays because their defense is very good and the Commanders' defense is bad.
Yeah, give me the Bears. Why not?
I'm trying to see if we have any updates on Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, if Jaden Daniels is playing, then I would probably be more swayed towards the Commanders, but...
Yeah, I don't see anything. I'm going to go with the Bears just because Caleb's been playing well. Yes, they haven't played any good teams, but I like their defense a little bit more. Plus the factor of Jaden might not be at 100% if he is playing. So, but it's going to be a really good game, and it should be a fun one to watch. All right, Sunday night, we got Cowboys 49ers.
The battle of 2 big market teams that have underachieved this year.
I would easily take the Niners here, but they just don't have pretty much any starters.
I think I'm going to take Dallas in this game. I probably shouldn't because Dallas,
I think, has had the worst defense in the NFL. Close to it.
Yeah, but I don't know if the Niners are going to have anyone to exploit it, you know?
Yeah, they'll have, like, Jordan Mason.
Yeah, George Kittle might have a monster game, but I'm going to take Dallas. I think they'll use that bye week they just had to prepare for this game.
I was leaning towards the Cowboys.
The Niners are just decimated with injuries right now.
And that's why I was leaning towards the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cowboys as well, which is – I think it's going to be a good, closer game because both teams aren't great at the current moment. They both have their flaws, but with the 49ers, I don't really know how their offense is going to look, and they struggled without any of their people last week. Granted, that was against a way better defense than the Cowboys, but I'll give the edge to the Cowboys Sunday night. Then Monday night we have Giants at Steelers.
Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers are going to be 6-2
Yeah.
after this game. That's wild.
Yeah. Don't you love
freaking Steelers?
Hey, but the Steelers, their schedule gets very, very, very difficult after this game.
Good.
So we'll see.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. NBA kicked off today, so that's cool. I'll be watching some of the games once we wrap it up here. But yeah, we'll be back next week for week 8. We'll see you guys next one. Peace.